103.5 Kiss FM, Showbiz Shelly here with the one and only Kristin Cavallari. Welcome.
Oh, you're sweet. Hi.
I'm so excited. I love you, Kristin.
Thank you. I love that.
So this is such an honor to have you here.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
So, of course, coming back to Chicago, what's the first thing that sort of comes to your mind?
Well, I've actually been spending quite a bit of time here lately just because obviously I'm opening up Uncommon James. And I got to tell you, it's been really nice to be back. And Jay's come with me on a few trips. And, you know, this is the city where we met and where we fell in love and where all three of our kids were born. So it's just been nice to be back and kind of, you know, walk down memory lane and relive some of those old days.
And true or false that because you grew up or had some years in Barrington, is that right?
Very true. Yeah, I lived there all throughout junior high. My mom still lives there in the same house that I lived in and everything. Yeah, so yeah, it's nice to be back.
And so can you sort of take me through, do you remember those days when you first met Jay and you were like dating?
God, when I was a baby. Well, I was living in LA and I just remember I would come out here all the time, and I met him during preseason of a football season. So our first few months, he was in season. So I would come out here and go to the games, and I'd be, you know, up in the suite with his family and hanging out with all of his friends and everything. And one of my best girlfriends lives here. And so it was nice that like I had my girl, you know, when I was first dating Jay and everything. But we would go out in the city and we just had the time of our lives. We had so much fun.
It's a fun city.
It really is. It's the best. Yeah.
And so, yes, like you said, you're opening Uncommon James here, the West Loop.
Yeah, right in the heart of everything.
It really is.
It is. That area has blown up. I mean, Jay and I have been going over there to go eat at like Girl on the Goat and some of those restaurants for years. But yeah, now all of these retailers are coming. I feel like I found the location at the perfect time. Had I waited even 2 weeks, I don't think I would have found a spot.
Really?
Yeah.
Because of that?
Yeah, because
hustling,
it is. And everyone, I don't know if I'm allowed to say who my neighbors are who's coming, but they're really great brand. I would hate to get in trouble. I would hate to be the asshole neighbor that's like blowing everybody's spot.
Okay, fair enough.
But really great brands are coming next to me. I'm right across from the Nobu Hotel that's coming. And it's just a really exciting time in the West Loop. And even just to be, you know, on the same street as some of these brands is really exciting for me and Uncommon James.
It's huge. So 849 West Randolph. Did I get that right?
Yeah.
So for those who want to know exactly. And why did you want to do Chicago next? Is it because you have that... you lived here and did all that? Yeah.
It's just, I have such an emotional tie here. You know, I always have and I always will. And so, like I said, I mean, just this is where Jay and I fell in love. All of our kids were born. And so for me, it was a no-brainer. And any excuse to come back. And my kids love coming here. We brought my kids a couple weeks ago. And, you know, my mom is still here and my whole family. So I want to start spending more time here.
Yay.
Yeah.
I love that. And so... Uncommon James, the party collection dropped today. Is that right?
Yesterday, but yes.
Or was it yesterday?
Good timing, you know, with the store opening. Yeah.
And so talk about, I mean, you sort of have made this transition from, you know, reality TV to then owning your own business. And now you're killing it with this jewelry line. What have been some of the challenges with that?
Oh man, I mean, it's been tough for sure. I've had Uncommon James for about 2.5 years and I'm 100% the owner. I mean, I'm doing everything myself. I never partnered with a bigger company, and you know, it's the most rewarding thing I've ever done, but it's also extremely challenging. I finally feel like I'm at a pretty good place. I've hired some really key leaders within my company to help me out, but it's a lot of ups and downs. I mean, owning your own business is not for the faint of heart. And it's stressful and it's a ton of work, but it's worth it. You know, it's been the best thing I've ever done, obviously, besides being a mom, but professionally, it's been a lot of fun. And, you know, joining reality TV again, doing Very Cavallari was a way for me to really kind of market Uncommon James. That's really why I decided to go back to reality TV.
Is it?
Yeah, it is. And I'm really happy that I made that decision because I do feel like it's been really great for brand exposure.
So I was going to ask you about that because first of all, I love the show,
Thanks.
Jay Cutler. And so you had some reservations? Because there's people who say, you know, you maybe want to be a little bit careful putting your family on TV and your relationship. So how did you feel about that?
Yeah, well, so our kids are not on it and they never will be. That was absolutely a deal breaker for both Jay and I. Mm-hmm. Jay was nervous about it, and I was nervous to put Jay on camera, you know, because he had never done it before, and I was like, he's either going to be really good or really bad. There's no happy medium.
Yeah.
He's amazing, so it all worked out. But yeah, I mean, I was just nervous to go back. I think because my experience, I was, 17 to 22. And at the time, I only had to worry about myself. But now, I have a husband. I have 3 little kids. It's like I can't just be out there doing whatever I want anymore. I have to be thinking about how my actions are going to affect everybody. So I was a little nervous. I am an executive producer, which has been really nice having that security blanket and having some creative control. Mm-hmm. So I don't think I would have gone back had I not had that title and control.
Yeah, because
I've gotten some things taken out here and there.
Right, you get that little extra layer.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah. So season 3, right? When is it coming back? Do we know?
The end of January, but I don't have an exact date.
Okay.
But yeah, the end of, and we do have a Christmas special airing on December 15th.
Ooh, what's that going to be like?
A very merry. What was
Cavallari,
it? A very merry Cavallari. It's cute. It's just a one-off kind of episode, and it's just us decorating for Christmas, and we have a big holiday party, and it's just kind of silly and fun.
So yeah, could we talk more? Because here's the thing. I feel like, so I try to get my boyfriend to watch so many of my TV shows, like The Bachelor and This Is Us, and he refuses. But he sat down and we watched your show, and he's obsessed. And he loves, do you get that from a lot of people?
I do. I do. Every woman is like, I can never get my husband or my boyfriend to watch, but because Jay's on it, and Jay's so funny too. So yeah, I mean, I love that. I love that couples are able to watch because of Jay. Yeah. It's great.
Did that surprise you? You said a little bit that he was like the breakout star.
Yeah. I think it's been so great for both Jay and I that people are now getting to see the real Jay. Obviously, I've always known that he's funny and he's just this down-to-earth, goofball. And I really love that he's had such a positive response to it. Yeah, so I think he's happy too that he is doing it.
Yeah. And what does he think of the whole thing? Is he just kind of like chill, goes with it, or like
he can take it or leave it, to be honest. Happy wife, happy life. But I think secretly he has a little bit of fun with it, but he's not going to cry when the show's over. Let's put it that way.
Okay. What about cuts? Is he doing cuts? Do we know?
He's not. He's not doing cuts. Not right now. I know. Maybe one day. He's really enjoying this retired life of hanging out.
But I have to tell you, I've been in a few places this past week where people are like, man, I wish we had Jay Cutler back on the Bears because
I know.
They're doing so poorly now.
Yeah.
So
well, everyone hated him when he was here. So what the hell, guys? You can't win, I
know. So does he miss it here? Is he kind of like?
Of course. No, I mean, he loves Chicago. And, same with me. It's like we just have such fond memories of Chicago. He's still a Bears fan. My oldest, Camden, is obsessed with the Bears. The Bears will always be our family team. So that will never go away. Obviously, I think he really misses like the camaraderie of being on a football team, that guy time. Mm-hmm. I don't think he misses getting hurt every week, so that's nice. I like having him home. The kids like having him home,
Like a great dad.
He is. He's very hands-on, and it's especially for my boys. It's just been nice that he's around so much more now, and he can play football with the boys outside and pick them up from school and all that great stuff. So it's been good. Yeah.
So does he kind of watch the Bears in secret? Like, now Mitch knows what it's like.
No. And Jay truly is. He has no spite in him whatsoever. He really wants everybody to succeed and do well. And like I said, I mean, we're rooting for the Bears. So, no, but I think it's probably nice for him not to be the one being trashed in the newspapers right now.
Oh, I'm sure he doesn't miss that at all.
No.
Yeah. And do you see it in your kids? Do you see any budding entrepreneurs or any budding football players, or is it just
my oldest wants to be a football player?
Who does?
Big time. My oldest, Camden.
Yeah.
Big time, which makes me a little nervous.
Really?
Yeah. But I'm not going to tell him no, because I feel like when you tell a kid no, it makes them want to do it more. Jay didn't start playing football till he was a little bit older, so I feel like we have a little bit of time. I'm going to try to get him to play baseball, soccer, maybe something else will pique his interest.
Yeah. That makes sense. So I feel like, myself included, that I watch the show and we sort of see your life, and it just seems like you have everything so together.
Oh, God.
You have, your amazing, former athlete husband and all these things. What do you struggle with? Is there stuff that you struggle with?
Well, thank you. I mean, that's sweet. I don't always have it together. I struggle with just balancing it all sometimes, to be honest. I feel like poor Jay gets the short end of the deal. It's like, I feel like I've figured out like work and kids and how to balance that. And then, I probably don't make enough time for Jay right now, but he's been really supportive and he gets it. He understands that I'm really following my dream right now and that I have to put in a lot of work right now in order for it to, be a long-term thing. No, I mean, I'm definitely exhausted. Effing tired. I don't know if I can swear or not on this.
You can, yeah.
Okay, great. I'm fucking tired. Yeah. And it can be a lot sometimes. And then it's, coming home and trying to have all that energy and be present for my kids and really be there with them too. It's, it's a lot, but it's all good. I'm making it work. I'm figuring it out and it's all worth it in the end.
Yeah. And I know you kind of covered that on the show a little bit too, that you guys have to really put an effort and make time for each other. Yeah. And there was that whole point where you were really busy with things and trying to have to sort of
for sure. It is right? Exactly. Yeah. It is like a puzzle. And I think more so than work, I think having 3 kids is what I don't want to say takes away from the relationship. It just makes it harder to find time for one another, because kids are demanding and it's not like Jay and I can have a conversation when we're eating dinner with our kids. The second Jay and I even try to, the kids are like, hey, get blah, 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 and chiming in. So it's impossible. The time that we have for each other is when the kids are in bed and, we're both so tired at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. So it's just setting aside time for one another.
Yeah. And with the kids, too, I imagine with Halloween coming up, that's got to be fun. Do you know what you're going to
Yeah, so Camden, our oldest, is a skeleton football player. He'll be wearing a Bears costume. Super random. Jackson is a ninja, and then my daughter Sailor is a mermaid. Aww. So I got like a skeleton onesie. And it's like anything easy. Yeah. I care more about getting the kids ready and making them look good. Yeah. So I got a skeleton onesie, and then Jay will be a ninja with Jackson.
Oh,
so
cute.
Yeah, it'll be cute.
Super cute. Yeah. Really quick too, did you watch The Hills, this most recent?
I didn't see it, and it's not because I didn't want to. I still want to watch it. I don't watch TV.
Okay.
And so that I have no other excuse other than we don't have a TV in our bedroom, and that's the only time I would watch TV.
Yeah.
So.
Were you approached to do it?
Yeah, I was, and I just couldn't make it all work with Jay Cutler.
Well, yeah.
We are trying to maybe swap an episode right now, having Audrina and Heidi come on mine, and then me going and doing an episode for The Hills. So we'll see if that works out.
That could be really interesting.
Yeah. Okay. So we're trying to make that happen right now. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. And so finally, I mean, you have the store, you have your jewelry, you have your family. I mean, is there anything else that we missed that you want to talk about?
Gosh, what can I talk about? I mean, I'm working on another cookbook right now, but it won't come out until next fall. So True Comfort, all healthy comfort food, which I turned it in and now I'm in the editing phase, but that'll be out next fall. So nothing else really at the moment.
Because I feel, because I love your cookbook too, because I eat super.
Oh yeah, Little James. I have Little James too, which will be in the store here. Yeah. So baby and kid clothing as well.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say I also eat super healthy like a freak, and so my cheating, when I sort of cheat on something, is like, I don't know, like cookie dough with like maple syrup and like
right.
Is that what you do, or do you?
Actually, I mean, well, yes and no. Yes, like for me, so I work out Monday through Friday. I wake up at 5 a.m. to work out, and I feel like that kind of sets the tone. So during the week, I'm super healthy, and then the weekends, I'll either indulge that way, or if we're traveling or we go out to eat, it's all bets are off, and I'll eat whatever.
Yeah.
So it just kind of depends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I would say too, is he into the healthy food now?
He is, but if I was like, oh, screw all of this, let's just eat burgers and pizza every day, he'd be like, yes. So it's really kind of me driving it.
Yeah, I feel like I have so much to talk about this show, because one of the episodes that was so funny was the one where he was hammered and you were trying to
the dinner party. If you could have seen the raw footage of that. They helped him out. Let's just say that. It was pretty bad. I was like, I hate you. Yeah. Yeah, that was an interesting night for sure. He was like, I'm never drinking on camera ever again.
Oh my God. Yeah, because it was hysterical though.
It was. So I mean, it was watching it at the time. I was not too happy with him. He was just, it could have been a lot worse. Let's just put it that way. He was just pushing my buttons that night.
Well, it isn't true too, because I think this is because your business has totally taken off. And you said too at one point when you guys were dating, you actually broke up, right?
Yeah.
At one point, because you were really adamant. You want to be able to pursue your own career, right?
Yeah.
Can you talk about that?
Yeah. I mean, it's Jay comes from a very traditional family in the sense that he wanted me to stay home, which is fine and great. It just wasn't me. And so there was a little butting of heads in the beginning of him not wanting me to work. And I was like, but you knew who I was when you met me. It wasn't like I was just, not doing anything. And so, yeah, I think in order for him to see how serious I was about some things, I had to end the relationship.
Yeah.
And it was the best thing that's ever happened to us, honestly. Because it woke him up a little bit and it made him see that I wasn't messing around.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was the best thing that ever happened.
So do you see yourself at any point, like, I guess, what do you see yourself doing like 10 years from now? What do you want to be doing?
For me, really, it's about just scaling Uncommon James. I'm putting all of my effort there. And I would love to have a couple more stores potentially. But really, it's about the e-com business and just how we can grow that. Mm-hmm. And I feel like sky's the limit. I would love to branch out in a couple other categories, but I don't want to say just what yet.
Okay.
But yeah, that's all my focus is on Uncommon James.
And are we going to see a lot of drama with the employees this next season?
So this season, it's not as heavy on my employees.
Okay.
The funny thing about a reality show is it's not great for the culture of a company. Imagine that. Turns out. Okay. So I worked really hard in between season 2 and season 3 to get my company to a really great place. And I was really scared to go back once the cameras started rolling. And so I really limited them to how much they could have with my employees. And it's more about Jay and I and my group of friends. And obviously Uncommon James is still on there and we focus a lot on Little James and that sort of thing, but it's not in the same capacity. It's not girls talking shit about each other. I don't think that's our show. Listen, I'm here for it. I love me some housewives. I get it. Yeah. I just don't think that's our show. I think our show is more comedy than anything else. Mm-hmm. And I felt like the employees and then Jay and I were like 2 different shows and they had no sort of synergy between the 2. So it's more about Jay and I, which I'm pretty sure Jay is what the people want anyway. So I'm going to give the people what they want.
I swear. I feel like for a while, that was all everybody was talking about here.
Yeah.
Was Jay is the new star.
I know. Very Cutler.
Very Cutler.
He's not too happy about the name. Or people will call him Mr. Cavallari. Like if we're at a hotel or something, people will. Oh, I love it. It irks them so much. My legal last name is Cutler too, which I don't think anybody really knows. So I think it even pisses him off even more that people call him Mr. Cutler. Or sorry, Mr. Cavallari. Yeah.
That's the best. So when you guys come to town, like what are you going to do while you're in town?
Well, tonight obviously we're doing a friends and family event at my store. So kind of kicking things off. Mm-hmm. And then I'm sure we'll be around the West Loop, just kind of bouncing all around. And then tomorrow doing a ribbon cutting at the store at 9:45 and then doors open at 10 a.m. So
we can all go?
Yes, awesome. Everyone and anyone is welcome. I hope people come out.
I'm sure they will. I
always get nervous that no one's going to show up.
No, I'm sure they will.
So Jay and I will be there for the first hour and a half, and then we're going to go home.
Okay.
Back to Nashville.
Is he going to get hammered without cameras or no?
Well, there are cameras. We're filming for the show tonight and tomorrow. So yes, if people come by the store tomorrow, they will hopefully sign a release for the show.
Got it.
To be on the show. Yeah.
So you could be on TV.
You could be on TV.
Yeah.
Come on out.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. Kristen, anything else? I always love chatting with you.
I don't think so. No? But yeah, thank you.
Of course. Cool.
Awesome.
So yeah, everybody go to Uncommon James West Loop.
Yay. Thank you.
Thank you.